This is Perspectivas Latinas, a community service of CAN TV. I'm Juan Carlos Hernandez. For many years now, Casa Aztlan has been a resource to the Pilsen community. They have gone through some changes, but now look to the future with hope. Our guest, Carlos Arango, is here to talk about that new vision. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Well, let's first start talking about Casa Aztlan and what's happened recently, and some of the reasons why, and then we can get to talking about the history and other things that you're working on.
Yeah, Casa Aztlan has been since 1970.
1970.
And the Pilsen community, when in the 1831 South Racine and the building with the murals and all this story that has been very important for the community.
Right.
And last year, Casa Aztlan has been serving in different programs, after-school programs, adult education, immigration services, human rights, art and culture.
At 1831 South.
Racine.
South Racine? Or
yes, Racine.
South Racine.
Yeah. Last year, Casa Aztlan lost the building.
I've been by there, been in the building myself. It's a beautiful old building, right?
Yeah, totally old and a huge building. Unfortunately, we lost the building through the bank and investors that they want to really negotiate with the organization to maintain the building for the community. Nevertheless, the building has several issues in terms of, the structure, the big need for repairs that actually was beyond the ability of the organization to raise that money at that point.
Okay.
So we have to move. So we move to a small office on 1808 South Blue Island.
Where Radio Arte was, right?
Exactly, where the Radio Arte used to be a year ago. There's a lot of changes going on in the community.
Yeah.
And so we start again the organization. What's this concept that the mission of Casa Aztlan continues beyond the building? And it's sad the issue of the building, but the mission of the organization is to serve the community, to develop a strategy to maintain people in Pilsen, and also to serve in different directions on immigration issues, still promoting art and culture, and provide some level of services.
Okay.
Especially currently we offer the SEDA program that people continue knocking the door of the organization to get that services.
Okay. You said you ran into some difficulties. You couldn't maintain the building. It's an old settlement house, right? Where Casa Aztlan was.
Yeah, always been settlement house.
And what caused these problems? I know that the financial crisis of from 2007 or 2006 forward. People are unsure when it began. A lot of nonprofits have run into trouble. Did you experience some of that as well?
Yeah, we experienced loss of funding. And basically, lack of cash flow. So then, the whole situation becomes really difficult, and especially, through to maintaining the records and like that. So that was the problem we faced with the bank, and so the bank put us in foreclosure. They want to really look into negotiate with the organization.
They didn't want to.
No, that's the reality. They want to negotiate with the organization. They want their money and get rid of community. Banks doesn't have heart, or they care for money.
Right. But you personally during that time, and now you're out of that building, but in 2007, actually, your wife was sick for a couple of years, and before that, you also went through some illnesses, right?
Yes.
And you're trying to deal with all of these changes and losing money for the organization. I don't know how you made it to that, but please share with us
Was
what you went.
I mean, it was very
what you went through.
stressful, especially in. I mean, well, actually, it was like almost 10 years of
10 years of illness.
Illness, and because I was sick in 203, 204 to 206,
Okay.
and then well, I was kind of controlled. So,
Okay.
and then in 207, Connie was fine with cancer. So actually, it was Connie, my wife, and then it was like 2 years. It was really difficult time to battle with the whole situation. The whole process of chemo, radiation, and then surgery, and was really difficult. I mean, a lot of people live with that experience, and it's something that I mean you can control, and but you have to deal with, and in the best way possible to take care of the person.
And your wife passed away, right?
Yeah, in 2009.
In 2009.
April, actually, gonna be 5 years.
It will be 5 years in April. Wow. And you're dealing with these personal family issues with your own illness, and dealing with the fact that you're losing funding and for your organization that you've been running for how long?
Since 1994.
You've been running it since 1994. Wow. How did you handle that as the leader of this organization, and how have you kept afloat despite losing the building, despite these personal losses and difficulties?
Well, I mean, we made a really strong reflection. We have an event at the West Plain, I mean, a banquet in the Mexican Fine Arts, the anniversary, and we explained what the situation was, and people understood, and basically was a reflection for us that I mean that the one organization is not only the building,
right,
and the organization is more the people, the mission, the concept, the concept of Casa Aztlan. I mean, there's a concept of the self-determination, and the concept of the identification of the Mexican community in Chicago. So. I guess this is in the way we decide to continue moving the organization and next phase to try to, but to determine what is going to be the refocus the organization to rebuild the concept of Aztlan. Actually, I mean, the organization was a model that was very useful in the 70s, in the 80s, but.
What model is that exactly?
Well, like I mean, like a nonprofit that a settlement house, basically.
That you just depend on government funding.
On government funding and some private funding.
Right.
But I think I mean that level of organization is already I mean we are another century.
Right.
So we need like address it in the different perspective, and I guess. Part of the concerns now is how the policy issues in our community.
Okay, so when for most of the existence of Casa Aztlan, the focus was primarily, like you said, education,
after-school programs,
services, emergency services such as what?
SIDA and
like AIDS.
Yeah, well, no. SIDA is like to help people to pay the gas and bills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like emergency service.
Oh, emergency, like if they can't pay their gas bill or light bill.
Exactly.
You would help them find the right resources for that.
Well, yeah, we have a program. We still have a program that, I mean, the state provides the money so they can, well, at least help themselves with certain amount of money to pay the bills.
So you receive money from the state and then you distribute that money?
No, we make the applications and they distribute the money to them.
Okay.
And they put it in their people's gas and the light company.
Okay.
So they deduct it from there.
Okay.
So it's in the way that works.
Okay, and then now you said that you had this dinner at or gala at the National Museum of Mexican Art, and it was a moment where you explained, but it was also served as a moment of reflection.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now going forward, you've mentioned some of that already. What is the vision going forward for Casa Aztlan?
Well, basically, I mean, one of the things is Casa Aztlan also was considered very important cultural center. So we opened the door to all kind of events, artists and groups, and
Right, you had a performance space. Right?
yes, yes, and also in the festivals, the street festivals, we bring music from Mexico, from different places. I mean, that's one of the, I guess, center that provide that kind of development for local and international artists. And that piece, I think, is very important, and we're going to continue it in some level. I mean, to promote the art and culture, because this is a fundamental idea, I guess, when Casa Aztlan was built. And the other thing in the future is the whole question of policy. And we are very concerned on the issues of immigration. Currently, we're working with to introduce a resolution in the city council for protect our families. Okay. Well, the resolution was already introduced. Going to be a hearing to see the issues, and basically the resolution talking about asking the President Obama to use his executive powers to sign a decision to stop deportations, to stop deporting children, separating families, and extend the DACA program.
Extend the DACA program in what way?
And to all families.
To all families.
Until Congress gets serious to discuss immigration policy.
Right, because they so far really not a whole lot has happened in immigration. DACA, for those that we call the dreamers or young people that want to continue studying, go into the military or work, that door was, I guess, open. Obama did use his executive power
to create DACA.
Right, to create DACA, but
deferred action.
Deferred action, right? But you're saying let's widen that.
Yes.
What kind of response are you getting, or what have you heard?
Well, I mean, we have it's a lot of support growing in the country around that. I mean, and Los Angeles already passed a resolution in that sense.
And how does that how does a local resolution have an effect? Because that's federal law.
That's
right?
a federal law,
right?
But basically, it's put Chicago in the sense that we want the president to execute the executive order, and the city council of the city, city council, decide to ask the president to do that.
It's a way of pressuring.
It's a question of pressuring. It's a way to create a concept, an atmosphere to make possible the decision that he should take, the president.
Okay, and this you already introduced?
Yeah, it was introduced by Alderman Cardenas.
Okay.
And the March 11 going to be the hearing.
Okay.
And the Human Relations Committee. So listen testimony, people that have been separated, the effect of children in foster homes. So we're going to bring different people to testify to make the case. And basically, the whole question is how this affecting the families, the children.
Right.
The separation, it's a tragedy. I mean, there's a tragedy that people can, maintain their families together.
Now, one question does come to mind. Where it's 2014, it's the 20th anniversary of NAFTA, and NAFTA was supposed to help, at least according to the reasoning then, was supposed to help diminish this movement of people into the United States from Mexico, and I mean especially Mexico, but primarily Mexico, but obviously that those free trade agreements have extended into Central America. Why hasn't that happened?
Well, because our argument was that immigration never considered in the talks of NAFTA. I mean, they talk
Right.
about only about commerce,
Okay.
but they never talk about the freedom of people to move.
And equalizing wages.
Exactly.
Right? Like equalizing, having.
And doesn't happen. I mean, Mexico continue having the terrible wages,
Right.
and also what's happening is triggered down that in the United States the wages going down instead
That's
of
true.
going up.
Right.
And
More and more, the U.S. resembles
Latin
wages in Latin America. Right.
Yeah, I mean, you have these fights right now, the 10 for 15, the 8 for 15, and the whole fight for minimum wage.
Right.
To put it in $10. So that gives us the explanation that the NAFTA hasn't helped
Right.
the development of just and fair trade. It's not fair trade.
Right.
And Mexico basically was destroyed their agriculture. I mean, you don't have any more agriculture in Mexico. They even have to buy from the United States the corn.
Right.
And then you have in Mexico also the whole transmigrants going through a real tragedy.
Right, from Central America, our Central American brothers and sisters going through very difficult places in Mexico.
Yeah,
and being exploited horribly.
Yeah, and to try to get here.
To try to get here.
So NAFTA hasn't been good for people.
And because of that, we have things that require attention here, like DACA, and what you're hoping to extend with this resolution through the city council for families, right?
We're families. And the extended we have already passed in Los Angeles, in San Francisco.
So it's been
working on Seattle, Washington.
Seattle.
Working in New York, and also in Arizona. So I don't know how gonna be playing around, but this is it's an idea to promote this perspective.
Okay. So besides that policy work, what else is Casa Aztlan doing now?
Well, we're doing this issue of doing like legal fairs. We're doing workshops.
Okay.
We bring lawyers and to provide information on immigration and other issues.
Okay.
Criminal, yeah.
Like DUIs.
DUIs and because criminal records can affect for citizenship, can affect for immigration purposes. So people be informed.
Okay.
And so we did like 4 already.
4 already. Since when have you done?
Since last year. We started in November. Doing these workshops in different parts of the city.
Okay. What parts of the city? Tell me.
We do it in the north side.
Where in the north side?
In the office of the office of the Guerrerenses.
Of the what?
The Guerrerenses.
Oh, Guerrerenses. One of the clubes de oriundos. Right?
Yeah, they have like office represent the garbage. So in the space we have like 100 people there.
100 people.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
That was on the north side.
Yeah, and then we have at the Rudy Lozano. We have at the
Rudy Lozano Library.
Yes.
The one in Pilsen.
And then we have one in Los. Organization of the Southwest.
Over in the Midway area, West Lawn area?
Exactly. Okay. And then we have another one in Posen, Illinois.
Where's that?
Posen is actually it's it's
small town.
Yeah, small town, early in the south of the city. It's almost. I mean, it's very close to Chicago. I mean, this is Posen. It's let me see. It's close to Harvey.
Oh, over Harvey. Okay, over in that area. So you're having a huge response with that.
Yes.
And how do you find the lawyers or legal firms that are willing to support you?
Yeah, we have different friends that are willing to go to these workshops. To help and give advice and something that lawyers like to do. I mean.
But it's not just any legal help. Like, let's say I had a fight with my neighbor and they're suing me or something like that.
Yeah, well, if it says, I mean, at least give an orientation.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, what to do, and this is the workshops.
Okay, so it's any legal question is valid.
Yes.
Okay.
Civil, criminal, or immigration.
Okay, that's great to know for most of us, because we all of us always, well, might have a question, and we don't know who to turn to.
So I don't have the schedule for the following workshops, but
You don't have it.
no,
Okay,
not
but
right now.
but it will be on your website.
We'll be on the website.
Okay, and so it's policy and legal help. What else? How are you bringing culture or other work into it?
Well, we're planning on doing that. I mean, basically to continue have our annual dinner, to our festival. But I mean, it's gonna take time to start organizing and planning on those events.
Okay. How often do you have this dinner? It's once a year?
Once a year.
Once a year. In the spring or in the summer?
No, in the on November.
Oh, it's in November. It's
In
in the
September or November.
fall. So it's usually in the fall.
Yeah, in the fall.
Okay, and it's
The festival is in the summer, and we don't have a date for the festival yet, but we're still, doing organizing the structure of the organization, everything.
okay.
So we have to finish that and start doing little by little. Not to, I mean, because part of the questions, we did a lot of stuff, and so we have to concentrate more on certain things.
Okay, the refocus, right?
Refocus, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because we have less space. So
Space.
but we have a lot of demands still. And people still
Really?
calling, for classes, for applications, for see the program, for even conversations with the schools, because they want to know about the community, and they always went to Casa Aztlan to get information, talk to students.
In what way? Like about charter schools or issues going on with schools? What
No.
specifically?
They come from different universities, and they talk about what's going on in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
What is the national climate for Latinos? It's what I mean. Schools at universities that are having urban studies or Latino studies, or
They would come to you.
they come to here, and in the summer or when they come, they like to have like workshops or interviews or discussions.
And what universities would do that? And they still want to do that with you.
Yeah. I mean, we have one coming up. I don't remember the name of the institution, but they write and they want to come.
But you said you don't have space, so where do you host these?
Well, I mean,
Where will you be hosting them?
Well, I mean, we can do it in the library. We can do it in different places. I mean, or in our office. I mean, well, at least I mean, if there's 10 students, we can have it there. Obviously, we can have a huge. That's what people says now. You don't have space. Well,
Yeah, I'm curious. Chicago is increasingly a Latino city, and by extension, a global city. Where do you see the place of the Latino and the Mexicano, which is overwhelmingly the majority in this city going forward? And how do you think Casa Aztlan fits into that picture going forward?
Well, first we see Casa Aztlan more like acting in different neighborhoods.
In different neighborhoods, not just centered in Pilsen.
No, Pilsen was the heart.
Was the heart, okay?
But I mean, the Latino community is growing, as you say, enormously. So we see Casa Aztlan providing that workshops or have some presence.
As you're doing already.
I mean, outposts or even going and have a presentations and things like that, and try to. Because we think the growing of the Latino community, they need a strong opinion on issues that are very, very crucial in the community, like labor issues, immigration, economics, education. I mean, education is one of the central issues, I guess, in our community right now.
Yeah, as we're seeing with some of the testing questions.
I mean, actually, it's today. But the teachers said they're not gonna do it. So see what happens. It's very interesting. And the reason they don't want to do it is because they're gonna they don't have purpose to apply these exams, and
Right.
they're not gonna have utility for nothing.
Right.
So why do you do something that
Doesn't have
at the end is gonna go to the, I mean, and then the students getting all this pressure to do exams.
right. It's with bilingual students, right?
Yes, and education is not. I mean, there's no. I guess to make tests. I mean, you have to educate people, not only to prepare them to pass a test.
Right.
Because this is, I mean, it's a disaster. I mean, at the end, people has to have some formation.
Right. Definitely.
Basically, doing writing, math,
Right.
sciences. This is what people should be prepared, so can be participating in the society and be in the market and the market urge you to have a fundamental education.
Right. Definitely. Well.
Technology.
Definitely. Well said. Well said. Thank you so much for coming out today. And here's to I wish you well in this future, in this new direction that Casa Aztlan is taking, and glad that you're still around.
Gracias.
Perspectivas Latinas is a community service of CAN TV. If your nonprofit organization would like to work with CAN TV, call 312-738-1400 and ask for nonprofit services. Tune into Perspectivas Latinas every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on CAN TV 21. I'm Juan Carlos Hernandez. Thank you for joining us.